When I was growing up as a student, you often try to strive for perfection. But as I've gotten older, I think it's more important to have expression. You have to do storytelling through the music that you're playing. And I think ultimately that's the most important thing to me. I did all my homework throughout the entire year.
Should I be calling you Steven or Professor Lin?
I always tell students,
Professor Lin! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today's Taipei Tonight Show. I'm your host, Dennis Nieh, coming to you right here from Taipei, Taiwan. We're in the 101 building, and every week we try to come here and bring you a little bit of the Taiwan flavor. Whether it's culture, whether it's music, whether it's entertainment, we have it all right here on this stage. And all your views and all your comments mean so much to us. I want to express a special thanks to all of you guys out there. Now today we have a very special guest coming your way. He's a local Taiwanese kid that grew up here, but at a very young age was discovered that he's very talented. And he had an opportunity to receive his musical education on the East Coast of the United States. Growing up there with the cross-culture background and exposed to these amazing talent, turning into one of the top concert pianists in the world. Now, we try to get him on the show for quite some time now, but today, perfect timing. He's in town, we're in town, and we're recording, and we finally got him onto this stage. Now, at a very young age, he started performing in the Carnegie Hall and also working with philharmonics like the Berlin Philharmonics. And now he's in Taiwan working with the Taipei Symphony and the Evergreen Symphony. He's amazing. Perfect timing. He's here today. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest, Mr. Steven Lin. Woo! How you doing, young man?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. Good to have you here. Sit. Welcome to our show. Well, finally, we got this to happen.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing so much about you. I'm good friends with your company. They've been telling me about you for the longest time. Like, Dennis, you have to get this amazing prodigy, amazing performer, professional now to get on the show. But we've been missing each other because you're traveling all over the place. But finally, you're here. Welcome to the show.
I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. You're born in LA, but then grew up here.
Yes, grew up here
at the beginning.
My first language was actually Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
you do speak Mandarin.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
4th grade level. That's when I left.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And at that time, when did you realize you were a music prodigy, genius kid?
Well, I don't know if I was a genius, but I would say my journey came naturally. I first took Yamaha group lessons, which I'm sure a lot of Taiwanese kids have taken.
Yeah, that's like the big deal, right? A lot of kids do the Yamaha thing with the piano, the Suzuki thing with the violin.
Yes.
So you were a part of that.
I was part of that for 1 year. I don't remember much, but this is according to my mom. She said she did all my homework throughout the entire year. And I would stare at the ceiling.
Okay, so so a lot of moms did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of kids did the Yamaha thing.
Yeah.
A lot of moms did the homework, right? So okay, that's all fairly typical up to that
so
point.
after a year, she was like, no, we cannot continue this. But her friend suggested that I should take up private lessons, like one-on-one lessons.
Yeah, you go a little more serious.
Yeah, and just sort of hoping that I can be more focused. And that's when I met my first private teacher. Her name
kind of started you.
Yeah.
And her name was?
Jing Mei 老师.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
And I'm very grateful for her too. I think she was so passionate about music that her passion really affected me. She's also a vocalist. She was a vocal minor and piano major in college. You know, piano is a percussive instrument.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, we try to emulate the human voice because I think that's what is the most beautiful sound.
Wow.
So I think that part really embarked. Having studied with her for 6 months, I got a first prize in one of the local competitions.
Wow.
And that's when she thought, wow, okay.
And so you were, your first competition, you were like 7, 8-ish?
Yeah, 7.5, 8.
All right, we have a rare footage of one of your first competitions, all right, at 7 or 8-ish. I think that's when I just learned how to tie my shoes. And you were, and you were on stage. Wow, that's insane. You were 8-ish, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Look at what you can do with 6 months of private lessons. That was incredible. So you still remember it vaguely?
I remember the passion, you know,
Okay.
my teacher.
Obviously, that marked you as a pretty special kid. But then, from then, where did you go?
A lot of people suggested I should go try to audition for the Juilliard Pre-College division. It's a Saturday program for kids under 18. So I did that. I think it was 1999, March.
Yeah.
I went and auditioned, came back, and in May they told me, you know, I got in with a scholarship. The dean of the piano department had also accepted me, Veda Kaplinski. And actually my parents, they're not musical. I'm the first musician in my family.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess my dad is good at like casual, you know, singing, I think, you know, but I think that's about it. And my mom is very disciplined with whatever she does. She's good at like focusing on one thing for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I think that's very helpful for music,
Yeah.
the discipline part. Yeah. Originally, my parents didn't want me to go because we didn't have any friends in the East Coast.
It was a big move.
Yeah,
How old
because-
were you?
I was 9.5, 10.
And 9.5, 10, and you were accepted to Juilliard.
Yes.
That's incredible. All right, so the family went through a bit of a struggle. So
Yeah, everybody, friends and families were like, are you crazy?
friends and
But-
family were quite supportive.
Yeah, they were all supportive, yeah,
Parents
yeah.
a little scared, but yeah, obviously
Yes.
they're quite supportive
Yes.
of you.
In fact, I remember not wanting to leave because
Uh-huh.
I had a group of close friends.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we decided to go, and
And that's the beginning of
that was
everything.
the beginning.
You got to sit down. You have to get into it. You know, obviously a lot of hard work. But for a 9-year-old to travel that far, I mean, was it a boarding school? What did you do?
I went to a regular public school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was, Mondays through Fridays I was with the regular kids, and then on Saturdays I was with another group of kids, which are all very high level and very specialized musicians.
Oh, okay. So the music part of it was on the weekends.
Yes.
So on the weekdays, you're still just with the regular school
kids,
educational
yeah,
system.
yes. So I experienced both, and that kept me grounded.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes, looking back, I appreciated the balance I had growing up. I was very active. My mom really encouraged me to do some sports
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
She really wanted me to be healthy, you know.
In all fields, when you are super specialized at something, it kind of takes away the time or the ability to develop other things that well. To have a well balanced process is a rarity. It's not easy to come by. We got you in the studio finally. This is amazing, and for you, we brought you a grand piano here because we can't just let this opportunity slip by. So you're here with us. Can we do something for the audience here today?
Yeah.
Yeah? We got
Okay,
something?
yeah.
All right, let's check this out. We're in for a treat. Ladies and gentlemen, Steven Lin. That was incredible. I mean, we're in such a treat. I mean, normally to see a performance like that, we would have to wait, a big concert. But today we get to see it so up close.
It's a pleasure, yeah.
Thank you for
enjoy sharing.
performing for us. But now you're just touring around the world. How often are you in Taiwan? How many shows?
Yeah, so I've been touring officially since 2013. Yeah. And I've been doing that, and that's still going on. And in 2022, I picked up a professor position at University of Taipei. Yeah, so I started doing education, so half education and half performing. So I'm doing both right now. Yeah. So.
Wow. Should I be calling you Steven or Professor Lin?
I always tell students.
Professor
Steven,
Lin.
No, I'm still not used to that. Yeah.
All right, so you're teaching and then you're performing. You're performing with many of the symphony and orchestra all around the world, but then in Taiwan, there's a few that you work with.
Yeah,
well, right?
I worked a lot with Taipei Symphony Orchestra and
Okay.
Evergreen Symphony Orchestra. And there will be future plans with other orchestras in
That's wonderful.
Taiwan.
So, yeah, and some of the best in Taiwan, in my opinion. I got to ask this. I mean, we go see people like you. You're very unique, but then, these amazing concert pianists. Do you ever make a mistake on stage, on these amazing pieces? Because some of these songs are so complicated and so long. Are there bloopers for people like you?
Yes.
Be honest, right?
Yes. I think everybody has messed up before. Yeah. It's in different capacities, obviously.
Okay.
When I was growing up as a student, you often try to strive for perfection. But as I've gotten older, I think it's more important to have expression through the music. Because it's such a technical thing that classical musicians are doing that we often forget the human aspect of this. And it's about how you want to interpret a piece of music and what do you want to say? You have to do storytelling through the music that you're playing.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's the most important thing to me. And the mistakes are just, I think they're a small part of it.
Have you ever made mistakes?
Actually, yeah, I'll tell you a story.
Mistakes that you remember? Yeah.
Yes. So there was one time, it was the preliminaries of a competition in America. We had to play a 20-minute audition, but we had to prepare an hour and a half of program
Material.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't know what they're gonna pick.
Oh, so there's a couple of different pieces.
Yes.
Okay.
You have 20 minutes to showcase yourself in a 1.5 hour program.
Okay.
Yeah. I had this contemporary piece written in 1990. I didn't practice. I didn't learn the second half of this piece of music.
Okay.
Right? Because I went in thinking, oh, they're not gonna ask for that. So I went in. They asked for that.
Oh.
So they I was playing, it was 6 minutes into the piece. I was thinking, are they gonna stop me? And they didn't stop me for the next 6 minutes.
But you didn't know the whole thing.
I don't know the whole thing. I
So
don't know
what
the
did you do?
second half. So I literally made up the second half
No way. Get
of
out
my
town.
audition.
Get
Yeah.
out. Are you serious?
Yeah, I just improvised and I did whatever I needed to do to try to get through it.
And then
I got into the next round.
you made it.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it your improvisation was so amazing that you got in, or did they not know that you were improvising?
Till this day, I still don't know because I never talked to the judges.
No kidding.
Or maybe they enjoy my bravery, my courage to just keep
Or
trying to
they
make
said
music
that.
and trying to tell a story
Yeah.
that wasn't in the music, but it was, I think in all seriousness, we all strive for perfection, right?
Yeah.
In whatever field that we're in. But I think, let's not forget, life is, you should have fun with it.
Can we find the footage of that on the internet somewhere?
No, back then they didn't record.
Oh, man. All right. But anyway, thank you for coming here today. But before we head out, we do have a segment of the show called the Taiwan Adventure, where we venture around the island. We have some challenges, or we have some trivia questions about the island, and we'll see what fate brings your way today. Is that right?
Okay.
All right, let's check out today's the Taiwan Adventure. All right, here we go. This is the Taiwan Adventure. Okay, so we have Taiwan trivia questions in here, as well as some game challenges designed for you.
Designed for me.
All right, designed for you, okay?
Okay.
So we got 3 dice here. Help us roll the dice. And the roll. All right, here we go. 6, 12, 13. We got 13, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's see what we have for you. Okay, well, this is gonna be a challenge. Let's see, 13. Oh, this is designed for you, Steven. It is the Rendition challenge. Here we go. So we're gonna come up with let's come up with a melody, and with that melody, let's see if we can make some different versions.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna test out your chops a little bit. What's a melody that that everybody knows around the world?
Tingle,
Okay. How about this? We'll do a simple one. All the kids. Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. And let's see what renditions we can come up with.
Okay.
All right? Okay, let's check this out. All right, okay, so here we go. We're back at this gorgeous, gorgeous piano. This is where you feel most at home.
Yeah.
We're going to take it down a notch, all right? We're going to do something that people of all ages can enjoy.
Okay.
We're gonna do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but this is not gonna be like your Chopin and Bach piece. So if you miss a couple of notes, we're gonna know, all right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows how the melody goes. All right, so a concert pianist, how about we do a normal version first?
Okay.
Okay, normal
Yeah.
versions. This is for people of all ages, okay? Here we go. See, every child in front of the TV set can enjoy that, right?
Yep.
That's the normal version. All right, so how about we do a real classical, fancy version?
I'll do a Mozart.
A Mozart version.
A Mozart
All right,
version.
okay. So let's. So if Mozart was playing a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, what would it sound like? Okay, let's check this out. Wow, I like that. That was beautiful. That was gorgeous. Okay, moving right along. Then, what about on the grand piano? We got another.
I'll do a minor.
Way?
Minor.
Oh, a minor.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a minor style. Oh wow, that was nice. That was so nice. Yeah, that's a minor. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. All right, so that was gorgeous. I loved it. It was perfect. Wait, before we go on with it, because we're in Taiwan, and we have our music 老师 here, Atu, okay? We have Atu.
Yes,
Can we
Taiwan-
do a Taiwan version?
Taiwan cha-cha style.
Oh,
Cha-cha style.
Southern Cha-Cha, okay? Taiwan Southern Cha-Cha. Hey, yo.
That was nice. That
Do
was
you
awesome.
do you get the Southern Taiwan feel?
Yes.
See, for the audience out
rhythm.
there, you have to understand that Taiwan, we have Taipei, we have Taichung. You move toward the south, center and south, there's another style and passion of Taiwan that's very distinct. I think that was it, Atul. I think that was perfect. That was the right touch. You get a Southern Taiwan, you get a little feel of that. All right. How about
Since we're in Taiwan.
your interpretation of a Taiwan style?
Okay, so
So
maybe in a more for like Mando.
Okay, yeah,
Mandarin pop,
perfect. Because
maybe.
so Taiwan music is very
for
colorful. We have the Southern Taiwan, we call it Taike, Taiwan style, right? But we do have the Mandarin pop style, right? Oh yes. It's got that Asian romance beauty to it. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you
me.
Thank you for coming on. You have more tours in the upcoming months. I understand in Taiwan, 2025 is going to be a busy year for you.
The big show for me is on March 26th of 2025. I'll be having a recital at the National Concert Hall of Taiwan.
All right, we look
hope
forward.
to see you all there.
Look forward to that. All right, thank you for being on the show. Thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week to the Taipei Tonight Show, and we hope to see you here again. All right,
Me too.
Thank you. 谢谢. See you next
谢谢大家。
week. Bye bye.